back to Anxiety Makes Me Poop. This is Meredith. We're talking about being the calm in the chaos. I don't think I'm very good at this. So I did some research the past couple weeks. Because sometimes it's not your anxiety that wrecks your day, it's someone else's. I had a day a couple of weeks ago where I just kept getting phone call after phone call after phone call, and I had to be the calm. But when I hung up the last call, I was not calm. I was like shaking and high anxiety, and I was like, oh man, I just felt so bad for everybody. Sometimes it's the coworker that calls and they're really upset. Sometimes it's the manager that either doesn't do anything or is barking at you. It's maybe a spouse or a partner that's melting down. You have to be there for them. Or maybe it's a friend just in full freak out mode. I'm usually that friend. And suddenly your nervous system just kind of jumps around, right? You feel like you're on a roller coaster. Maybe you're just like white knuckling, thinking about things. You can't get your mind off of stuff that people are calling you about, but you have to sometimes be the calm. So I want to talk about how we can support each other when pressure is really high, maybe especially at work, and why staying calm isn't just helpful, but it's powerful for you and those around you. In every stressful situation, someone has to be the anchor. If no one does it, the whole boat drifts off. And let me share something else. Just because you're the anchor or just because you are the calm doesn't mean that you're emotionless. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you choose not to feed the chaos. You root yourself in steadiness, like a tree, right? You're going to root yourself and stay there. You breathe deeper when everyone else might be holding their breath or when everyone else is panicking. You calm yourself down. You can be the anchor for everyone. And sometimes the person, hopefully it'll be you sometimes, the one who doesn't panic, doesn't snap, doesn't yell, might be the only reason why the rest of the group doesn't capsize or float away. So my question to you is, are you the anchor or are you the alarm? Think about it. We all know the alarm type. Every single thing is an emergency. Every single thing is a fire. I know someone that when they call me, I know that it's going to be a fire to them. And I kind of have to talk them out of it. Maybe this person repeats the worst case scenario, but maybe that's not even the facts. It's just the worst case scenario. The scenario never even really happened. Their tone maybe kind of goes up and down when they get upset, like 3 octaves high, down. The text maybe reads, urgent, give me a call back right away, when really it's not a fire. It's not urgent because not everything is a fire. Not everything is urgent. Not everything is an emergency. But maybe they act like it is, so you have to kind of be that anchor and that calm for them. It's tiring. It's tiring. And when their energy takes over of that fire, then all of a sudden maybe you get other phone calls. It's kind of contagious. It's a ripple effect. But you also have to know that staying calm is also a ripple effect. Don't worry about it. I don't know if you just heard my stomach growl, but it just growled so loud. I'll be curious to hear the playback. It's early morning. I must be hungry. My stomach's not calm. Anyways, what support actually looks like when you have to be the calm. Sometimes when someone's anxious, we think we have to fix it. Maybe we have to think about giving the perfect pep talk to them. Maybe we have to have all the answers. But sometimes that's not supporting. That's even pressuring the person more that might be in their chaos. You have to remember that if someone calls you, if there's a fire, if there's chaos, the real support and the way to stay as an anchor is just to be present. I've learned this. I've learned this with the person that always calls me with a fire or emails me with a fire. I've learned to be present. I listen. If they call me, I listen to the whole thing that they're saying. And then I hear you. You're not alone. I heard that this just happened. I can help with this part, or I can get with this person. That's how anchoring works, right? This person calls and they're on fire and there's a chaos and, I'm here for you. Thank you for calling me. I can help you with this part. Or we're not going to worry about this part right now. Or let's wait and see if other things happen, and then we can reach out to the appropriate people. Sometimes just sitting next to somebody, or sometimes just being on the phone with somebody is what they need without saying a word. I would say just a couple months ago, I remember I was on a call and I was trying to get the person to feel better. And I realized I wasn't doing that. So I just listened. As a matter of fact, one of the times they went, "You still there or did I lose you?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm still here. I'm just listening. I feel like you need someone to listen to." That was it. Because I didn't want to give it advice or next steps or, anything like that. I didn't want to say, "Here's what we're doing," or "Can I give you some advice?" I didn't want to, because I didn't feel like they needed that. I feel like they just needed to vent. Sometimes that's what people need. They just need someone to listen, to be there. They might be in just this chaotic mood and they just need someone to listen and to not help. And that's okay. And most people, when they get a hold of you, and we'll be honest here, most people aren't asking for anything. They're not looking for that life jacket because the boat's floating away. They kind of just want to know that someone's there with them. Not everybody needs advice. So how do we stay calm when everyone else is not? Staying calm, in theory, yeah, right? You can say that. You can practice it. But it's really hard, especially when you're sensitive, empathetic, especially that. I am completely empathetic to everyone that calls me. I want to fix it all. Or maybe your own anxiety. I'm pointing at myself, loves to join the anxiety party. Someone calls and they're all upset, or someone texts and they're all upset. Someone emails and they're all upset. Or you see someone at a store, or you see someone out, or a family member, and they just go blah, 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 blah. And it just doesn't help to join the party, to hop on their boat that doesn't have an anchor. So here's what helps me sometimes. When you hear someone, or when someone calls and they're like, "You're not going to believe what's happening," it's a fire to them. It's a fire to them. It's chaotic to them. Listen to your breathing. Feel your breathing. Make sure that you're keeping your breaths slow and calm. If you do nothing else, inhale, exhale, let your body know that you're not in danger. So once they're done telling you what's happening, keep your voice low. Not in like a weird whispery way, okay? Just soft. Keep your voice soft. Like you hear them, but you're going to bring the tone to this conversation, this calming tone. Use grounding cues if you have to, if it's really getting you upset. One time I was driving and someone was telling me something and I had to feel my feet in my shoes. Like I wiggled my feet. I held onto the steering wheel and like felt the steering wheel. I focused on what they were telling me, but I kind of felt my body in the moment, and I took some deep breaths and just didn't do like a spiral listening to them. And then I think I remember saying calming things to them, like, "Hold on one second, let's pause." One time I had someone call me and there were so many different parts to their story because everything to them was on fire that I needed for them to just pause for a moment and do it in sections for me. We're going to figure this out. We may not be able to figure it out during this call, but tell me about the first part that happened. Tell me about the second part. And we had to break it down because, sometimes things just feel overwhelming, right? We've been on that side where we've need someone calm, and then we've been the calmer, right? So I remember saying, it's okay to breathe before we react. Because we're not responsible for everything that's happening. It's not our fault that a whole bunch of stuff happened. You can decide not to match the panic, not to match the fire, not to match the chaos. But you can try and figure it out when you're ready. I remember that one time, I think I was at work years ago, and everyone was just like activated. You could feel the buzzing in the air, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? My chest was tight. My jaw was clenched. And I was just like, I can match this energy or I can lower mine. And at first I started matching the energy in the room. I was like, oh, this is going to be hard for me. My heart was racing. I was like, I felt like the whole team was going to have a meltdown. But then I chose with someone else, my boss, to be the anchor and to just do, we got a whiteboard out and said, okay, this is what's happening. And then we had different columns like, okay, this person's going to work on this, so that it didn't fall on one person. We had different columns like, you're going to work on this, and you over there are going to work on this, and you over there are going to work on this. And then it ended up just kind of calming the high energy in the room, and we were able to get it done without adding fuel to the fire. It shifted things, and then we were able to move forward. Sometimes it's exhausting to always have to listen to the fires and to the chaos, but sometimes it's also exhausting having to be the anchor. So take time to take care of yourself if you're the anchor a lot of times. I have a little bit of homework for you. When someone starts to spiral, can you be the calm one? Can you say, I hear you? Can you take a deep breath and say, thank you for sharing? Is there anything you need me to help with? How can I help? Sometimes they don't need help. They just need to tell somebody. Can you ground yourself, touching that steering wheel, moving your feet in your shoes? Can you just feel you're in the present before reacting? Can you support someone without trying to fix them? Maybe don't even ask them how you can help. Maybe just say, thank you so much for sharing that. And just stay calm while they tell you. Maybe they need to be just kept on track. Like, I don't think you have to worry about that. Or is that factual? Or is this just, is it a fire in your head? Is it exploding in your head to be even worse than it is? Maybe place a hand like on your chest and on your core, just kind of speak kindly to them. Slow the whole situation down. Have you ever seen that before, where maybe it's just two strangers you're watching at the store and someone has like their hands on their chest and they're listening to the other person? That's a way for them to slow the conversation down. It's showing them grounding techniques. They're holding on to. I did that once and I didn't even notice that I was doing it. Someone came up to me and they said, you are not going to believe how this place has completely just gone to crap and whatever. And I instinctively put my hands on my chest and I said, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I saw them look down and look back up, and they immediately calmed a little bit and said, I'm so happy that you're here. Can I show you a couple things? And it was some things that I could actually fix. It was really neat. Every group needs someone to stay rooted, to stay as the anchor. Is that you? If it is, you might need some grounding techniques that actually work if people know that you're the anchor. So let's go over a few things. Let's say, for example, people always call you. They always text you. They always see you at stores and want to tell you something that seems like it's a fire. How do you keep yourself grounded, knowing that you're the anchor? First, if this person has called you all day and it's a fire after fire and you are working on something else, give it a moment before answering. Call them back when you're ready. If it's a text message or if it's an email, like if it's a professional setting, give yourself a minute to think through it, then respond. Don't shoot from the hip is what I always say. If you see a text come through, don't panic. Read it. And then respond when you're ready, when you've had a thoughtful moment. So one grounding technique is always breathing. It's 4-6 breathing. If you do nothing else, do this before responding or do this before calling the person back. Inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6. Exhale slower out than in. This tells your nervous system that you're safe, that there's no tiger attacking you, that there's really no fire, and that you're going to respond when you're ready. Keep your voice low, not whispering, just low. Not like you're, narrating a meditation app or anything like that. But the tone you use becomes the tone of the room or of the call or of the text. And if you're the anchor, your calm voice can calm others too. For you, touch something that's real, like your desk, a pen, a coffee mug, your steering wheel, like I was talking about. Notice the texture, the temperature. Feel it on purpose. That's a grounding technique. It pulls you out of the swirl and back into your body. It pulls you out of that fire that might be happening. If maybe you're on a call in your car, just hang onto that steering wheel and look forward and just feel the steering wheel for a moment and then respond. Plant your feet if you can. Literally. Feel the soles of your feet on the floor. Wiggle your toes in your shoes. Tell yourself, I'm right here at this moment. You can engage your 5 senses. I know I have shared this with family members when they call me. I have someone that calls me often with kind of a panic, can't help it, and we do the 5 senses. 5 things that you can see. 4 things that you can touch. 3 things that you can hear. 2 things that you can smell. 1 thing that you can taste. It takes about maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's a quick sensory check-in that tells your brain we're grounded. We're not going to spiral out of control. We're okay. So here's just a couple anchor phrases that kind of slows the conversation down and keeps everything maybe a little quieter, and then you can move on with the conversation. How about, let's pause. Or give me 1 second. I've done this before. Give me 1 second. Let me think about this just for 1 second. Ask the person, you're okay right now? What's the first thing that we should do? Breathe first, react second. These are all anchors. Do you need me to fix this to be helpful? Or do you need me to listen? Words are powerful. They shape the energy. Just choose calm ones. How can I help you? I hear you. So another thing would be to move your body, even if it's just a little. You don't want to make it obvious if you're in a meeting or if you're in front of a family member that might be pretty sensitive. Shoulder rolls. Just roll your shoulder back just a little bit and sit up straighter. Maybe do like a neck stretch. I've seen that in high energy rooms. I've seen like the CEOs or the president just kind of like neck stretch a little bit. Or maybe they stand up and get some water. Or maybe they just walk down to the hallway, grab something from their office, and then walk back. I've seen that, and they really didn't grab anything but like a pen, but they already had a pen. I think it was that moment that they just needed to walk away for a second and come back. It kind of resets the room. It resets the overwhelming feeling of the room. Walking away sometimes stops you from saying the spicy things too that you might regret later. So think about that. And you can even tell the person if it's, if it's a spouse or a partner, you can say, hey, I'm just going to walk upstairs for a second. I'll be right back. I still want to listen to you. I'll be right back. And sometimes that just resets the tone. If you like music, you can make a calm playlist. I do that when I'm writing. Oh, I've been working on this hysterectomy book forever, and it brings in so much anxiety and anxiousness for me. But I'm doing it to myself. I'm like the fire and the anchor. It's such a battle. But I do have a calming playlist, and it plays artists that I like, but it's their slower songs. So it's kind of nice while I'm writing. Or sometimes I ask it for just calming music without words. And it's instrumental. That's nice. Or nature sounds if you like that. Or maybe like your favorite indie vibes, whatever you like. Sometimes one song takes you all back to center. Maybe it's your favorite song. So listen, you're not responsible for everyone else's emotions, but you can choose not to match their panic, not to match the fire, and you can be that still, calm anchor. You can also be the anchor for yourself. Try not to have everything be an alarm. Try not to have everything be a fire. Not everything is chaotic. And if you're the anchor in a conversation, listen, and then kind of in a natural way, pick apart what needs to happen, next steps. That can be in a relationship too. What would you like me to do? What would make you feel better at this moment? Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's just listening. All right, do some grounding techniques. You don't have to make it obvious if you're in an office setting or in a meeting. You can just kind of roll your shoulders back. You can breathe slowly. 4 in, 6 out, and then respond. You can do a little neck stretch. You can get up and get some water. You can get up and get a fake object from your office just to kind of walk away for a second. You can communicate, hey, I just have to step out for a second. I'll be right back. Be the anchor, be the calm. Do that for yourself too. Talk to you next time.